Yo, it's cracking. We finna let the people come in. We're gonna play 2 tracks real quick, and then we're gonna keep it moving. You understand? So here we go.
La paix de Dieu, la paix des lois, la paix de tout système qui engage. Wamba 72. Tout Dieu de Afrique, des Caraïbes, servi 72. Des absents de protection, sans qui tomber, esprit sage changé. Tout imité, tout instigé, perpétré. Yo, tout comprendre mot ça yo. God a vin prendre. Dormi bien. Nepsi Hosso. Dormi bien. Tout esprit qui est en bataille.
Peace and salutations for the times of tribulations. On the grind we never wait and shine the line on any nigga hesitating. Is it resignating yet? Better be careful where you're placing your bets or where them Stacey Adams step. In a puddle of quicksand, and when it comes to the bubble, I got Bisquick hands. I can't kick cans, my ounce in it. Your boy never fumble when it comes to the scrimmage. Mumble to the police and make them wonder who did it. The method to the madness. Weapons kept my pants sagging, diamonds kept me bragging. Mortuary toe tagging, what it was. Cause niggas only get angry about what they love. Let the doves cry, go above and beyond when the slugs fly. Let bygones be bygones, I ride along high. I just gotta survive and make it to the greatest. While they underestimate his green paper come from future vapors. Straight out of the sewer, the truest anti-loser that ever grew up from the manure. A dandelion with a handy iron, pyromaniac firing. Sleep when you rest in peace, cause these streets are sick and tired. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives. Shouts out to my nigga Nipsey Hussle. I see his face when I make a Ouija board out of my whiskey bubbles. BG never gave a fuck about getting in trouble. When your mind whispers in your ear that no one loves you. Don't trust fools, better bust through. Duct tape on the handle of a dirty 32. Objects appear bigger in the rear view. Get a preview of your life before your lights turn to night. We start with a crocodile's bite. Just because of my plight, my bitch gave me some Chuck Taylors. Nigga don't need no favors. Spit in the face of the majors. They wonder how I'm getting this paper. Mind your business. They wanna be a witness these days until the innocent bystanders get sprayed. Lazy ass citizens in the gangster way, trying to tweet about the game we play. It's the concrete these 2 feet gon' stay. I'm solo mobbing in a 2-seater Chevrolet. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives. We eat with the devil's pork and steak knives, and then we sit back and watch these streets take lives.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from.
From the west coast to up out of space, into the G code, Buck Roger dates. Last trait, genetic modified homicide. Digital gangbang, the fake wanna ride. Hiding behind your screen to get your soul clean. LPI and IP for the foul delete. You smell foul to me, feeling hella ornery. I detest the scent stench of the cowardly. Address the message in the second with an old weapon. Laser beam speed with a flying guillotine. Take your head, man, I come behind many G's. Forever be where I'm from to my enemies. Fratricide that I ride for my nigga, please. Rite of passage, the class get the winning breed. Who we waiting on, the Jesus us. You witness the Holy Spirit when we squeeze and bust a nut. Up with the influx of chucks. Buck dancing in a trance like who giving a fuck. Hit 'em up like what's up, this is such and such.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from.
You can run, but you can't hide. You might as well bail and accept life or death from the sunlight. You kept up and Trump tight, the gangster hip hop. Bit bop, you switched up, caught him slipping in his flip flops. Get pushed off the map with your whack raps, mumbling and conjuring and summer in a rap pack. The industry fitted G's taking rap back. We ain't in line or intertwined with your contracts. And we open for recruitment in the movement. The only ones in our communion that's gonna do shit.
And yes, we do this the Wild Wild West way. Better have your chips like Frito-Lay. Watch what you say, cause we don't play. Roll the dice, hope for Christ, or you see the poltergeist. I take what I like, cause it show look nice. Living life under the lights, show you right. Fuck all that barking, you only eat when you bite. We the creep to the night, we speak into life. When we reach for the mic, blast it on sight. Muscle the mic, brothers of the struggle, hustle and fight.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from.
Father Divine, Optimus Prime, and Decepticon, be alarmed about this Vietnam. Squeezing arms under trees this palm. Expertise with the gangsters, so please keep calm. Anybody can get touched, don't get me wrong. Them gray hairs be stripes when you survive this long. Scotch too strong, watch how you hit the bottle. Bandanas out the window when I hit the throttle. Hit the gelato, sit on Forgiatos. Unknown desperado, good fellows, mafioso, the motto. What is substance with you little niggas that's hollow? Swag can't be copied and souls can't be borrowed. You become a catchword when you start to follow. Casino, Las Vegas, and Chicago. Mission impossible, so you niggas have got to know that there's a war going on outside and you'll die once you doubt your pride. When you divide homicide, there's a homie by your side. Welcome to the grind, keep your money on your mind.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we got a show for you. You there, my nigga? Crip Jesus, you there? I can't hear you, brother. You good, family?
Man, finally made it back.
Okay, I can hear you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all heard the name. Crip Jesus is here with the God 720. We're going to interview him about his book. Hold your book up, family.
The Blue Bible.
Yeah. Tell the people where they can get it at, you know, who you are, how long you've been
right now. You can come to
introduce yourself.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could just Google it, but you can come to cripjesus.com. You feel what I'm saying? As soon as you get there, you see the icon there. We got the regular blue and gold one. That's for to get the physical, or you can get the ebook version. That's the one you see with the black and white icon. Or you can just hit me direct. Go to the contact section, and I'll get it to you directly. You know what I'm saying? We got merchandise as well.
Okay, cripjesus.com. That's where you get the book. Hold the book up for the people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is. The Blue Bible, the Black Man's Bible. You understand? That's how we moving. Y'all know where to get the Black Man's Bible at, theblackmansbible.com. You know, a lot of my other books are right there, but let's get in it because today we talking to the Crip Jesus. So get the people some of your background, man. You know, what gave you, where'd you get the name? You know, where'd you get the power, my nigga? Come on.
Well, you know, I got the name. Well, the name is based on me and my life experience, but at the same time, I actually was given the name in 2020. You feel what I'm saying? In Detroit, Michigan. You feel what I'm saying? Basically, I had did 14 years in prison. While I was in there, I joined the 5% Nation, and I actually like started my own, you know what I mean, my own tree where I had different homies I was initiating into the knowledge, Bloods as well, you know what I mean? And just a lot of peace and love and knowledge, wisdom, understanding using to bring unity. But from that, I actually was the whole time I'm initiating them, I'm meeting people from the other side, you know, that we had all this division with that was supposed to be supposedly the enemy. And I'm learning different parts of the knowledge that I didn't have access to if I didn't cross those lines. You know what I mean? It was a blood from San Diego named Damu that introduced me to Rastafarianism. You feel what I'm saying? It was a lot of different BPS and Stones that introduced me to knowing about Jeff Ford and Morris Science. You feel what I'm saying? Which added on to my 5% knowledge. It was from that I learned about the Washita and applied that to the last name Washington with Raymond Washington. And well, I'm running through that thinking I done found something new, like, oh, Raymond Washington and the Washita. I come to find out that the original Crip Constitution, before we became so lost, was written by a dude that's a Grand Sheik named Danifu Kareem Bey. So I just basically talk about how the same way the gangs come from one big ideal that was split in all these pieces, so do our nations, so do our history. You know, we like to try to find this one absolute history without understanding that we are the original people, you know what I mean? Meaning that it's an infinite amount of stories that belong to us, you know?
Okay, so when you say the BPS Stones and Jeff Fort, you talking about Chicago faction Black Stones, right?
Yeah, so I'm glad you said it like that because I bring a new element to the table. So, you know, right here in the introduction, I talk about how a lot of the documentaries and a lot of the storytellers, no disrespect to any of the OGs, but we're just laying it down, how me being Crip, Jesus, how I see it, my perception, right? How what was passed down to me, what was given to me, not from a documentary or, you know, sitting in the spot with the homie, but my actual experience sitting here with these old Pyrus and these old Stones. And it was given to me that when they first started to branch out here, they had still direct ties with Chicago. It was as the division continued with them not wanting to be down with the new ideal of the Crip that was growing, that they just fell into that war, you know what I mean? And kind of just, but it's the same thing with the Crips as we see when you go to LA, they're all shooting and killing each other. So it just shows the science of civil war. I only deal with, I mean, I go through my level. It's 13 chapters. So those first 3 chapters is like Crip, then Blood, then Stone, then Nagas. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in prison learning about the N-word, Naga, and the Niggas tribe, and the Rastafarianism. So I literally go through my journey. You feel what I'm saying? Even when I go to do my interview with No Jumper, and after I leave there, I go look up his name. That's when I learn about his family and the Adamites and the Grand Masons and the science I reveal on them. So I say all that to say, yeah, when I met the brothers I met in California that gave me the science, they claim to have been the OGs that was there in the beginning when they were paying the tax to Chicago and part of that one nation. You feel me?
Right. So, and that was all the transformation from the Chi-Town to the LA is T. Rogers, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
100%. And the only one element I bring to the table is he had a brother named Seville Rob, as was told to me by the BPS when I was in prison. And I make sure I say on that page, this is the information they gave me to give y'all. So it's the ones I talked to in prison that certified. They say it was him, and they say he had an older brother named Seville Rob. And yeah, so basically when they brought it, I can personally tell you because that's chapter 3 called The Stones, right? But in chapter 2, I talk about how my first time witnessing blood culture beyond being on the attack from them in LA was being in the jungles and going to their high school, Dorsey, and they had something called the African Marketplace in the back. And they would teach you like about, you know, Black people and being of royal descent and have like little coloring books of us as Egyptians. And then, but from there you go around the corner and see the gang tagging, and it'd be a pyramid, a crescent moon and star, a black fist. I'm not old enough, and I don't know enough gangster stuff to know about this has anything to do with Chicago. So this is my first time even seeing these things, even this symbol above me with this eye and this pyramid. I see that, and I still, as a child, would see that and think of the BPS in their area. So my first initiation to even seeing that was through them. And I talk about how once I went to prison and became a 5%er and was taken seriously as the God, and they would divulge that information to me. Hey, you know, hey, peace, guy. You know that really mean, da, 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 da. You know what I mean? You know, we got our shit from Chicago, so it became like a secret brotherhood. Hence, that's the name, the Black Illuminati. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if it stretched out anywhere, it would be LA, because I'm from that whole Chicago region. And you talking about 20 Mo, Stone Mo, and all of that. And I've never heard of ABPSN nowhere outside of the Chicago, Illinois region. You dig what I'm saying? Specifically for me, it was Rockford, Rockford, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? So you got you had the Renegades, you got a lot of the Mickey Cobras, different faction of the Vice Lords, that was all Peoples, and all of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That you got a lot of different factions of the folks and all of that. It's a long list of gangs that have been created. Some of them are now disbanded, and there's no more of them. They completely gone. And then there's some that have survived, and it's been around for about 50, 60 years, something strong by now, right? And it's 2023, so yeah, it's been around 50, 60 years, the El Rookin and all of that, So it was a leg of Masonic sciences that was sort of for the streets. And whoever survived through that faction evolved into a higher layer of the game. You see what I'm saying? And that was more so supposed to be leading into the mafioso layer of thinking. You dig what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing. Rest in peace for everybody who didn't survive. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of niggas who have put some demerits on the game through all the snitching and all that other type of shit. Yeah, as a matter of fact, while we talking about this shit, you see the big rise of the so-called this snitch here and this snitch here and the paperwork and all that other shit. What you think about all that shit, man?
Well, snitching been going on.
Hold on. Basically, like, people are using that as a content pool online. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm peeping the lingo for sure. I'm hip. People been snitching, right? So it's more about, that's why I understand the question. It's not how do I feel about the act of snitching. How do I feel about this new market and wave of, hey, this snitch, that snitch, that snitch.
Yeah, we expose in this motherfucker, right? Niggas try to get views and shit, yeah.
I see it as two-pronged. So, for one, I see that for some reason, all the snitches look like me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't see them showing all the biker snitches, all the mafioso snitches, all the, I don't see none of these other snitches, right?
Right.
Just focused on, we're in the hip hop community. And a lot of these dudes who are in the hip hop community spreading this information are proud snitches. They're like, coming to my office, I'm calling the police.
Right.
But ooh, look at this dude. So
because they civilians by root. They civilians by root. And they got into this internet thing, and now they got a little plug. They got a tattoo on their face here or there.
No, see, this is my thing though. I'm not tripping. I'm not promoting let's be gangsters. So I'm not even looking at them as civilian. I'm a civilian. If that's the case, I'm not in the military. You feel what I'm saying? See, I'm not delusional. I'm not crazy. I haven't lost my mind. I don't think I'm in the war or the 40 Crips. Like, no, I'm not stupid. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So my thing is, if this girl I used to date up the street, somebody breaks in her house and tries to hurt her and her kids, she's going to call the police. She might call me as well, but I'm saying I'm not in the delusional world. What I'm saying is this: how I feel about snitching has no merit as to what you're asking me. This new market with 1090 Jake, Adam 22, Charleston White, and even rest in peace S-Bone, all these dudes who thought they were going to make a living off of profiting off of the act of snitching. It's disgusting. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's like, what about what's so crazy about it? I see it. That's why I say it's two pronged. It's for one, it's like the people who diss the dead. It's like an easy come up. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, we're talking about jail. We're connected. Oh, we're tough. We're talking about a bunch of people that's in there that can't speak for themselves, can't do nothing. Then on top of that, it's like the system is trying to desensitize us to the concept of telling, so they have everybody be spies. Because I don't think everybody understands what telling really is. We have telling like, ooh, I'm going to tell. That's the funny hee ha ha. That's why I'll tell shit. But when you understand that it's basically the government using us all against each other to where the point where we're like in fucking Russia or Germany, that's where we're at now. Why you think, you ever notice this? When dudes talk about the LGB, whatever the hell, we can't even say what we really want to say anymore. See how I said the letters? Well, we're online right now. But have you met dudes who will be in your face and be like, the LGBT, I ain't got no problem with them. You be like, nigga, we ain't on no line. We're not in front of nobody. Why you talking like that? Because he's already been trained. He can't even trust you. He's scared that you might go back online and say, oh my God, Caesar 5, X5.
Brother, let me tell you something, brother, about the 720, my nigga.
Not you specifically, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, let me tell you, I stand with the dead and real ones. So the medieval is my line. You dig what I'm saying? Souls from the old world is my line. I don't fuck around. You don't see too many motherfuckers around me. And that is a part of the system that you talk about. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna get into the schematics of how the Western mind is trying to modify me for thinking. You did. I'm not delusional. You did, just like you stated. And I wanted to bounce off of that because the brother said, I'm a civilian too. And here's the line. He's not military. So what we really saying right here with a statement like that is, nigga, we've seen the ins and out of work and dirt. It don't got no gratuities, nigga, that come for your future. Maybe it did in the 80s, maybe it did in the 90s, but all of that shit today is depleted, nigga. You ain't getting there's nothing that comes from it. So, and that's what really kills me about niggas who, want to join gangs when they get into the rap shit, when they get into the music industry, or when they want to get in, after high school, you trying to join gangs when you 21 and 25. B, if you wasn't putting in no form of work before 18, is a done deal for you, my nigga.
Well, I want to say this though. Like, I know we feel like that on the West Coast, right? But I have traveled, right? And there's dudes who may get put on at 28 and he's an executive music producer or something. He plays his part, right? He brings the girls to the party, right? Here's the problem, if you ask me. I don't feel that that's the problem. I feel like this is the problem, that we have all these men who just because, okay, I can use myself, for example. I came from crime. I did hard time. My brother and them still do crime, still live a life of crime. But I don't wish that on no one else. And what I see now is that a lot of them OGs that I glamorized, that I thought were pushing that on us to teach us the game, a lot of them are jealous and they want us to go through what they went through. So it's like, you ain't put in work and kill niggas. You ain't breaking the law and catching 20 cases like me. Like, I don't want these niggas to do that neither. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you go to my hood, we got the grimy, but we got the Leimert Park area. Like, for dudes, you see, I don't know if you see on my channel, like I got the little documentaries where I show the homies that own businesses and shit. And we try to keep that going. So that's why even in my book, it's like I could spend pages and pages saying the Crips are so horrible, but I'd rather show that I was lost just like them. Why? Because my mother showed me this, my brother showed me that. And when I went to prison, they showed me Danifu, Kareem Bey. It's like, why focus on the problem? Because a lot of dudes don't even know the solution. A lot of dudes don't know about that Constitution. They don't know the first Crips called each other blood. And we really are bloods because you're blood of my blood. I'm blood of your blood. You feel what I'm saying? What up, blood? What up, young blood? A lot of dudes can't talk like that.
That came from Vietnam, the Vietnam situation, right?
You feel what I'm saying? Just however, I met a dude from the islands that hung out in England all the time, had the accent, said, what up, blood? You know what I mean? That's why I pronounce like that. That's the first person I heard hit me with it, just on the international level, even with my uncle, my grandfather, and many of my family members, that I've seen come out with the 6 finger or 6 digit. And I see a lot of black people that get my book call me about that. Oh, what you know about that? When I'm talking about the Elohim tribe. So I just go deep in this book where it's just not about gangs. It's about where meeting these different people in these different situations through the gangs led me to, letting me know that our truth is all around us. We're just ignoring it. We're choosing. You know what I'm saying? I could have chosen, kept seeing them as bloods and enemies, or I could have just accepted that knowledge that they gave me. I could have kept seeing all the other Crips, because I talk about how in the beginning of the book, I was locked up with Munster Cody. Rest in peace to him. And he tried to give me connections to help me be an author back then. But I got out and threw his information away because I'm seeing the A-Trades and my homies beef. And I dive into the politics. I talk about that in here, how it's just it's not them, it's us within ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? At this point, you know, we've been a 50-year civil war. That's why the exact year you said was perfect. It's since the 70s when all these secrets were revealed from within the Middle East, Africa. It was all around the world. It was a parallel thing going on with all this knowledge and wisdom. You know, everybody had afros and shit. It wasn't just us. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I could try to, I'm just showing the gangs, but I'm showing the gangs too, how that shit was going on with Gaddafi and all that at that time. Like, it was a universal movement. You know what I mean? The NOI was about to end. So all this was going on in the 70s. Look at that, mathematics, the God cipher years, right? So all this was going on in the 70s. And then we have this 50-year civil war because they've been on our ass during that 50 years. But and one thing whatever else has been revealed.
Right. One thing that's interesting that you reached on, which me and the homie Gray Matter, you know Gray Matter, who is on the track, War Going On Outside that I played at the beginning. When you do the real research, like all the way down to what was going on before the colonizing of the white man on Chicago region and also California region, bro, the wars and the complexity was there before we even got there. So the tribes were having internal wars. And if you look at like what just came out recently in LA, the cops got gangs and interwoven inside the police structure. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I talk about that in the Blue Bible.
Right. So this complexity of war and battling is actually a dimension of the geographics of the region. Okay.
Yeah.
The geographics of the region enforces that mentality. And with them 100%. Living in there, by default, they fall into that space. And that's part of the reason why California got all these Catholic names. You know, Sacramento is the Sacrament. Los Angeles is the Angels, so on and so forth. You can go through all of it. San Diego is Saint Diego. So when you go to San Francisco is Saint Francisco.
Exactly.
So when you go through all of that, and then you understand what I presented with the medieval Catholic line, nigga, it matches. Because it was all war, it was battle, it was striving with passion for a light, for a way to get out of this situation. You hold on to the divine or what you want to construct in your mind as divinity, so you can get out of this position of constant war and battle and blood. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's part of the whole dimension. The whole California is wrapped up into that dimension. Chicago is deeply wrapped up into that dimension. When you go into the history of Chicago, nigga, Murder Incorporated was mafia shit that was in Chicago before the gangs was there. So that automatically, you see what I'm saying, confirms or verifies a little bit what I'm saying. It's a geographical pool. So a lot of people think, oh, them niggas over there, they crazy as fuck. Nah, you're not even understanding what you're seeing. You see what I'm saying? It's all on the ley lines that's going all around the earth and what positions have what type of energy. You see what I'm saying? And what crosses have that energy. And unfortunately, Cali has heavy beef, and it will always be beef. 10,000 years from now, the humans that live in that area will be banging. It don't even got nothing to do with us. You see what I'm saying? A nigga just wrapped up in that zone. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, man. You know, I don't want this to be. I mean, it's gonna be that conversation. I guess we have to do this because it needs to be exemplified to the people. You know what I'm saying? On what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? For number one, snitching is not a marketing pool. You know, that is not something that is something we want to brag about. You know, it's been going on for eons. You know, if there's going to be crime, there's going to be snitches. You know what I'm saying? The true science about what a rat is that a rat brings warning of coming danger. So what the science is like back in the farm days, you know, and we talk about anything before 1940, 1930, everybody on this planet was living in farm conditions. You see what I'm saying? And what they would say was that when there was a storm coming or a tornado coming, the rats used to leave the farm 2-3 days ahead. And that's how niggas got called rats, because it's incoming danger. So if a motherfucking snitch is up in the interrogation room and he's so-called ratting, that process of ratting is bringing danger. You know, it's gonna, because the squad gonna get up in that truck and come to the hood and try to verify whatever the rat was saying. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of nerds online that was raised underneath grandma's skirt, and they're very interested about all of this gangster shit. And like I said earlier, bro, if you didn't have that vigor, that vigor and that punch with you as a young kid, you know, then as an adult, you're just a clown. You looking for masculinity. What you think about that? A lot of cats who's, you know, trying to search for masculinity.
Me being from the gang, bro, I'll say this: it may look like that. I mean, that is the reality. However, there's dudes that's masculine as hell, that's the tough OG big homies that's working. You feel what I'm saying? See, we live in an era now where we got to worry about the snitching been going on so long. We worried about infiltration now. We worry about the dude that look just like you, sound like you, got the big house, got the mansion, got the diamonds, got all the women, got the bank account and all that, and he's working with the other side. Or what about this? Something that black people don't like to think about at all, because we like to just focus on, you know, the opium and just let the shit pass and close our eyes. What about all the powerful families? Because think about this. If you're part of the other side, is it even snitching? Think about it. If I'm the dude that is working for the other side, see, we think we'll never meet this guy, but sometimes this dude living right next door. So if I'm the dude that's related to the cop officer, motherfucker, I'm not telling. I want as many of you niggas locked up as possible. So I'm paying this other motherfucker to tell, right?
Right. Now,
yeah, you feel me?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that brought up a question that I almost forgot. That is the guise of war, right? What you're just speaking about, right?
Yeah.
That is the guise of war. I want my enemy done no matter what, and snitching is a part of that weapon, right? Because it's war. So are there other gangs who are of a different culture or race that automatically have the green light to snitch on you because you're of a different set or a different culture, race picture?
Okay, I want to read this to you out the Blue Bible. This page is called the Black Mafia, right? It goes into exactly what you're talking about. Now, it's a part here where I say, yesterday, the Italian mafia worked with law enforcement. Today, the so-called street niggas are working with law enforcement. They are snitching and working undercover. And during my 15 years in prison, I read a lot of people's paperwork, and I see snitches on YouTube every day. I see them. I'm not naming them, but I see them. Okay. By the early 2000s, women were literally standing on the corners of Figueroa Boulevard, selling themselves to fund the expensive wars maintained. At this point, Rudy Giuliani, the creator of the RICO law used to bring down New York's Italian mafia, was recruited to design laws that made it illegal to even live in certain areas in Los Angeles. This is the early 2000s. We're in 2023. So we're dealing with mafia level telling going on here in Los Angeles. So we're talking about dudes you're seeing on interviews, dudes you're seeing in music videos, dudes you're seeing in sports, dudes you're seeing in law enforcement, dudes you're seeing in government level. And I'm going to tell you something. It's not new. Where did what's that president? Ronald
Trump?
Reagan. Ronald Reagan came from here. You feel what I'm saying? The CIA spread the crack epidemic starting here. You feel what I'm saying? Man, we can go on and on. A lot of stuff they started with in California with their experiment, then spread it through the rest of the country. So, you know, this is nothing new.
Yeah,
so,
the 3 strikes law, all of that shit, right? Yeah.
Even like of all the different Black Panthers, they handled them different ways. So Fred Hampton, they just went straight at them in Chicago, right? But out here, they actually used the US organization to get rid of Bunchy Carter. They didn't hit him direct. So they've been playing this game in Cali. You know?
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned Giuliani and the RICO, because the RICO just took down Giuliani.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what goes to show, nigga, you create some bullshit, the bullshit gonna come back and touch your monkey ass. You know, and that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying?
I want to go back to what you
thought he
first
was
said.
untouchable, nigga. Go ahead.
Now on page 85 in the Blue Bible, it says the first English settlement in North America was not Jamestown. The English first attempted to settle in North Carolina in 1587. Their leader, John White, left for supplies and returned to an empty colony. All he found were skeletons. In 1622, we organized the Jamestown Massacre. We murdered about 400 and would have been more if a snitch didn't warn them. So if you look at it on the overall level, like you were saying, we can always make it individualistic and say, oh, this person told because of this or because of that. But there's one group with an objective, and they're going to always pay or bribe people from the other side to work towards their agenda. And the weak people amongst your group that will service them, these are just the names we have them. Just to simplify that concept, but we all know what we're talking about, what's going on.
Yeah, you know, yes, we do. You know, it's a lot of politics when you fucking around, especially state to state, and you in between gangs, and you know, you dealing with a lot of niggas from a lot of different backgrounds. You learn a lot of different forms of politics on the do's and the don'ts. You dig what I'm saying? And I want you to tell.
That's another thing I showed through this book, that I've dealt with everybody. I still deal with them as long as we stay solid. You feel what I'm saying? Whether those be the rules that we look back and we look at our empires, well, which ones was the most solid? The Mansa Musas, the Sunni Ali. So, okay, you know what I mean? We look to these cultures, how was niggas living? You feel what I'm saying? It's like the staying solid, you know, is the ultimate law. I, self, Lord, and master. You know what I mean? You know you're gonna want for others as you want for self. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. I, self, Lord, and master. And you need to I, self, law, and master and get the Blue Bible before you think you finna crack the concrete or go over here to LA sticking your motherfucking chest out. So for the niggas that be coming out here to LA and be getting their shit blown back because they think they finna be OG on the block and all this other shit, give these niggas some warnings on how to operate and how to move and shit and what to look out for when you fucking around and getting off the plane at the LAX, nigga.
I think me being a person from LA who didn't travel to the other cities, I could speak from a place of experience. I've been in them other cities and felt the same way. Like, oh, nigga, we in Brooklyn. We got to go over here. We got to go over there and shit. Hell yeah, I'm going to have my chain out. Nah, nigga, I ain't no buster. But here's what I realized after doing it. See, just like Jesus, Grandpa Jesus 2,000 years ago had to do what he had to do with the Romans to show us. I had to do what I had to do to show everybody. I done went through the country with blue rags. I did all the silly shit, right? I'm going to tell you something. No matter what I say, no matter how I survived it, no matter how many homegirls I picked, no matter how much I want to glamorize it, the truth is the spirit that I had, because I say in this book that we could break down the devils on a nationalistic level and deal with who they are and what groups they represent. But at this point in time, when you say the word spirit, we're dealing with it from the Latin perspective, as spiritus, which is breath. You speak as the devil, you are the devil. Those who want to talk that bullshit all day and conjure that crap up, you know what I mean? You know, you got the dudes that act like they're against the devil, but that's all they talk about. You know what I mean? And I don't believe in the devil, but it's like, so the point I'm making is that, well, I think hold on. Where was I at? So the point I'm making is
traveling abroad, nigga. Traveling, coming to LA, nigga, and not knowing the regulations, nigga.
No. I got it. The point I'm making is I've been other places and being a part of that excitement and wanted to see the different places and feel the embrace and feel tough. But I had to admit to myself after doing it that I always had the spirit of I wish a nigga would when I'm wearing my jewelry or I'm looking at your female in your place. And that's not being of the five sciences that the prophet brought to us of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, because the science of him saying that is before you even get to all that, tell me the truth, or let's have peace, brother, or freedom and justice. These are high level concepts. You need to learn to love first. And a lot of us don't even got no respect. You feel what I'm saying? So if I really got respect, am I really going to go to the grimiest part of your city? Probably not. And if I do, I'm probably gonna be cautious if I do or come to help. I know even in my own city, when I go to the grimiest part downtown, it's probably to help feed them niggas or something. It ain't just to floss on them.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm saying, so
You got a tour guide with you, right?
Right, and if I'm not, like, this is my city, so I ain't gonna tour there, but I might go. I'm saying, what would I have business going to Skid Row for in LA unless I'm going to help them or something or handle some business? So the thing is, a lot of us get comfortable when we leave these places and we realize we forget that we looking at this hip hop shit so backwards. We glamorizing the garbage. You done made enough money to go to this big city and be up in the nicest hotel and be with the best of women, eat the best of food, and maybe go down here and help some people. But instead, you want to go down here and take pictures and floss and yeah, nigga, da, da, da. And I don't believe in coincidence. You feel what I'm saying? Law governs all actions, and we'll never know what a person was thinking in their head or feeling in their heart when they go to these areas.
Right. And it's a
you know what I mean? I heard a lot of them videos with PNB Rock and you know what I mean?
Yeah, these niggas,
like,
when you watch a lot of that PNB Rock shit, that nigga was looking for masculinity, dog. That nigga wanted to get some stripes. And like I said, B, if you ain't got your stripes or whatever by the age of 21, it's done, my nigga. You know, like you should have already started your road. And if you stay on that road, you know, you might end up being a career criminal for the rest of your days, in and out the Bing and all of that. And don't nobody want to wish that. Who wants to live up in a fucking cell? You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is not a wise choice of life, you know. And
I even see it on the spiritual level, right? Just going with breath and talking and saying certain words. They have certain meanings, right? I say right here on page 8 that death is the spirit of Crip. Even the word itself is etymologically crypt, which is a room where a tomb is placed. Crypt is a proper description of my homies. They are a dead people. They are caught in the cycle of death. My neighborhood and my homies are both crypts. Still, the fact remains, as I showed and proved, Allah is seen and heard in all worlds, including the world of Crip. So yeah, I use that to show that even in my experience of, you know what I mean, dealing with the Crips and all that, but still, you feel what I'm saying? The word has its meaning. You know, I don't shy away from the reality. Just like I said, you know, I'm not in the military and the civilian, you know, because what they do is they use words to normalize degenerate actions to you. You know what I mean? This is like when the homies in the hood talk about running trains. And we didn't realize, if you look at it in today's language after the Me Too movement, that maybe some of that Me Too was needed because, nigga, what you talking about was statutory, was gang. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta say the other word, you feel what I'm saying? All wrapped in one, and you glamorizing it, making it a word that you could say in a hip hop song or something. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I see some of this over sexual shit on the memes or the clips online, I gotta be real with myself with some of the music that we was listening to, some of the things that Biggie and them. Look at some of that weird shit Biggie said, and I just saw a clip the other day where they had like a TS or TG, whatever letter it is, in a couple of Biggie videos.
It's funny you brought that shit up, dog. But you know what? You ain't see that shit on none of them West Coast nigga videos. That was some shit. That was some shit over there. You know, y'all niggas got some weird shit going. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. I saw the same fucking shit, and then they talked about LL Cool J saying he shit at the beginning of his verse. Yeah. Woo! I was like, yo, what the fuck is happening, nigga? What is you niggas got going? You understand me? Like, B, it was right there. Like, they had a lot of weird time, my nigga.
It was a light-skinned dude named Shamika. He was in all the video. But here's the cold part. In the Biggie video, he's blatantly on that type of wave. Like, he in the bathroom peeing with the dudes. And we all just
I'm done. But you know, that's one thing that led me, because I was in Chicago at the time. So that's one thing that led me towards West Coast sound anyway. Not only because they sampled a lot of George Clinton, but they had bad bitches in the motherfucking video. You understand? There was a bitch braiding motherfucking Snoop's hair. There was a bitch. They was volleyballing and all of that other type of shit. They dumped a 40 ounce on another pretty little bitch. So they always had bitches in the video. When you look at a lot of the East Coast videos, them niggas didn't have no bitches in the videos except for the one we talking about with Biggie, and they started all this club shit because niggas wasn't in no clubs during that time. You dig what I'm saying? So it was a social engineering project to bring niggas into the club, waste your money up in here with this dumb shit and these fucking he-she's, goddamn. Then so I don't, bro, I don't play them lines.
That's like 30 years ago.
Bro, I don't play them lines. You know what I'm saying? Just by normal attraction, I was fucking with the West Coast. You know, I wasn't, man, like you niggas is some weird style niggas. You got shit going. You understand? And I mean, well, do you want to speak on that shit, the weird shit with the interview that just happened recently? How they trying to defame the principalities that Nipsey Hussle was trying to bring to the game, and now they trying to put a shit stain on the name when it comes to the Crippin' in LA and all that other shit that was going on. Do you want to speak on that real quick?
You talking about the Adam 22 no jumper?
Yeah, the Bird interview, Bird ass nigga.
Yeah, everybody watching, go to my channel and watch Adam 22 is the devil. I'll send you the link if you want to put it in your description or something. Let them check it out. It's called Adam 22 is the devil. And for those, look, if you ain't got no other reason to get the Blue Bible, maybe you're thinking, man, I know everything already. All right, cool. Well, I got something special for you then. Going with what you was talking about. I told dudes, why y'all mad at Adam? Y'all need to be mad at these niggas. That's why he wasn't even there when he did it, because I revealed his bloodline. And I'm not saying I'm above nobody. I'm saying after I went and did my interview, I looked them up because I just found some things interesting. So
did they even air that interview he did with you?
Well, it's two interviews. So it's one where I'm on there with Crip Mac and him. It's one where I'm on there with the homie Killer 2 and T-Rail. And that was one I did with Poetic Flacco that they didn't air. So they put the other two up. I'm just part of those. They never put my individual actual interview up.
Okay.
Yeah. So now this is just this is page 39, chapter 6. This is just the second paragraph. I put, it wasn't until after my no jumper interview that I began to study Adam 22. I immediately noticed his devilish ways and his family name, Grand Mason. So his family name is Grand Mason. That's his last name. He is of a family of men who taught Napoleon to shoot the nose off the Sphinx in Africa. They endorsed the decapitation of our ancestor, King Louis XVI. His family was and most likely still is affiliated with the Illuminati. And then, you know, we get deeper into it all through chapter 6. But no, yeah. So he's already coming in with this ideal. He's on the same type of time that Arnold Schwarzenegger was on when he wanted to get rid of Tookie Williams and all that. You feel what I'm saying?
A lot of people, hold on. We got to go there since you want to bring it up. My homie, his father was one of those weightlifting niggas that actually won the state thing for bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
And he has video of when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tookie was both in competition for that championship way back in the day, and Tookie won the championship over Arnold, right? And then I think that's when Arnold went into his movie career. But then after that, Arnold got his revenge and the get back with the whole clemency situation in the death row on the whole Tookie thing. So it's a long history of what was going on with the Tookie and the Arnold situation. It wasn't just no overnight decision type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And
we know that it's no coincidence. You know what I mean? But
you're right.
You know, the world, they got to be able to put them dots together, right? But I say right here that on on page 13, at the end of chapter 2, in the second paragraph, I'm not gonna read the whole page.
Mm-hmm.
The Bloods and Crips were in civil war for 50 years, 1972 to 2022. Now we are completely lost, and our communities are being terrorized by the same police we were created to protect them from. Our money is being extorted by the same courts we are supposed to be protecting our children from. We have no cause, focus, or purpose. So that's how I feel about that. You see, I put 1972 to 2022. It's already over already.
Yeah.
So what you see now?
72 shootout, the 72 shout out, nigga.
Yeah. So what you seeing now is already done. It was done last year, man. It's nothing left. You seeing a dude with Hoover Killer tatted on his head interviewing a dude talking about he's gay Hoover. Not like it doesn't even make sense anymore. You feel me?
No, and that wasn't just a slight on
And
Crip
they're
and
sitting there
gang
being
banging in
orchestrated
LA.
by an obvious police officer. Like,
Right.
come
That's
on, bro.
also a slight at black male and black race overall. So it's really that shit sort of like touched the tone in a way larger picture. You know what I'm saying? And that's one reason why I just keep the distance, you know, inclusive with what we was just saying about the Biggie video and all of that other shit. The majority of these niggas in the mainstream are just puppets to the game, man, that are specifically doing ritualistic shit and shit in their music to fuck their own race up. And that's some traitor shit in my book. Like, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, right. Yeah, that's some traitor shit. So I don't operate on them lines, you know, never have, never will, you know. And
I think
but
it
that's
goes
what's
back to
going
how
on.
you had the connection between this lifestyle and the mafia. But the problem is, check this out. The time period we keep pointing out, the early 90s, late 80s. That the same time they were orchestrating, like you said, social engineering. Because a lot of people don't even look at the club and all that as part of social engineering. They kind of make those things.
Oh, that was the biggest project.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people will just focus on, I call it letting the perversion scare you away from the knowledge. So a lot of people only focus on the he, she there and leave the fact that the club and the scenery is what sets the tone already. That's how you get the women with the big butts. Now they're looking like the same and all that. So at the same time they were engineering that, they were engineering the so-called gangster lifestyle. They were making us believe that the whole concept of mafia and it having any bloodlines or blood ties went with the Italians. And for us, it just went with some gangster stuff. So I talk about all of that during chapter 10. And look, check this out. I opened it up with the science I learned from Islam, like through humbling myself, right? So check this out. It says, I have been deemed blasphemous and delusional for being Crip Jesus. Just like I'm pretty sure they may look at you for God being God 720. And why are you talking like that? Right?
So a lot of people choke up when they say the name, my nigga. They choke up, goddamn.
So I have been outcasted from society for my name and my teachings. I am of the true 5%, the teachers. The 10%, the liars, know I teach the truth and they know who I am. It is the 85%, the masses, that refuse to believe that the man they know as Jesus was my ancestor. He was an outlaw who inspired the original mafia. Check this out. The original mafia were Muslims in Egypt. The word mafia is a translation of the name al-Mafir of the Mafiris. These particular Moors marched from Yemen, Saba to Egypt to expel the Romans out of Africa. Across the sea, they settled in Italy and ruled Sicily from 652 to 1071. Once the Catholics conquered all of Italy, our names, styles, and culture were adopted and watered down. Hence today, they have what they call mafias. You feel me? So I open it up with that. Then I go back to my first time hearing of it with the rap and all that, and not believing it and being introduced to this bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Girls twerking in the club and Big Meech throwing money and drugs and all that. You feel what I'm saying? As opposed to living by a code of conduct. Expelling the Romans and fighting for our land and staying Trump down and 10 toes and having sacred information amongst ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? And morals and sacred
etiquette, nigga. The etiquette, nigga. You understand?
Come on, you feel me?
You guys to have the etiquette, and that's what it was. That's what a lot of, you know, the organization of gangs was originally set by, was etiquette. If you had certain, I know in GD, you had certain grades. If you had a D in your fucking on your grades, you got your ass whooped type shit. Like it was a maintenance of bettering, you know, growth and development type situation. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, there's a lot of rules and regulations that had to be followed. You know, if you want to talk about early 90s, the cripping in the blood, niggas had their clothes, they had the crease in the khakis. Room was militarized, clean to a T. You know, shit, clothes was hung up and all of that other shit. There was a lot of order, you know, before fast food came in. You dig? When all that fast food shit started coming in and the chemicals started fucking operating on people because you are what you eat, niggas lost structure on things. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think is of gangsters today is not the same shit of what was going on in the 80s and 90s. They wasn't even the same physical stature, physical size. You understand? Like lifting weights was a very important thing on the Crip and Blood side. You know what I'm saying? And They was and that's outside of jail and inside of jail. You could ride down the street and see a motherfucking bench in front of the yard with some weights. You know, these young niggas nowadays, I call them the malnutrition gangsters. You know, and I call them the malnutrition, nigga. They were created off of the Carl's Jr. and the Taco Bell. You understand? And you know, nigga can't take down no turkey.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? What? If you look at the Black Panther connection, and that's why I revealed in chapter 1 that is Danifu Kareem Bey, right? Because you know the Blue Bible is just like the Bible. You gotta look shit up. You gotta study. You know what I mean? It's going to go get light. So Danifu Kareem Bey, he's a Grand Sheik now. But at the time that he created the Constitution for the Crips, he was a baby Panther. So it goes to show that the reason why the CIA had such a big stake in infiltrating us in the Bloods movement is because we were spreading a form of communism. And now you see we're fully capitalistic. That's why we don't care about being big. We don't care about actually doing work. It's almost like we're like on some pimping Egyptian magic shit. Like we just want to sit back and make as much shit appear as possible and shoot up motherfuckers, right? Yeah. So then you see when they want to infiltrate Fred Hampton and all of the Chicago structure because they were dealing with nationalism. That's why all the so-called gangs out there are really nations. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like we can get deep, you know what I mean? So they had to infiltrate those two cities for that reason. Because, you know, you had other gangs like the Mob and the Zoes and the different cities with different things. But those two cities were seeming to spread across the country because they had a more of a political structure that went with them.
Right. It's funny you mentioned the Zoes. My niggas from Florida all the way to New York. You know, the Haitian niggas, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas is highly interwoven. You know, they got a power structure. But it's all relied upon race and culture, you know? And that's something that a lot of niggas have lost. And
100%.
A lot of interracial relationships and created a lot of havoc, you know. There's been a lot of situations where niggas look like niggas, but they ain't niggas. Coming from the Central America, South America, all of them type of zones, and gangs that been went down there. You got Africans claiming Crip and blood now because they think it's fashionable. You know, this thing is not a commercialized thing. To me, a lot of niggas from the homeland, they don't give a fuck. They look at it as an idolization, which it is in some format. You can't, on one layer of the game, you can look at it as idolization. But I look at it as mockery. You know what I'm saying? And that is another layer of the game. You know,
talking about the other town homies?
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, I mean, that's what niggas was saying. I mean, it's, you know, like,
I mean, I've been like, I used to look at it like that, but once I've been out there and met homies from out there and they came out here and we went back and forth, I mean, that's what it was made for. It wasn't made to sit still. It was made to grow. You know what I'm saying? But
that's my thing is this. Of the game, right?
I think the problem is, and me and you just got to be man enough to admit this. We tasted the poison. So we got a bit of that old nigga in this where it's like, well, you ain't do this and that. But really the this and that happened in the 70s and 80s is what we didn't want to happen. You feel what I'm saying? So when I see a nigga in Jersey saying I'm helping an old lady cross the street, is this what it was about, homie? You know, I'm going to lie and tell him, yeah, because it's community revolution and progress as far as he's concerned. He flew out. Now, don't get me wrong. I met some of these dudes who flew out to LA, saw the bullshit, and still chose to go back home and rep it how they rep it. And I think it boils down to each individual because that's just our acronym. What did the blood dude gonna say? What the Zoe dude gonna say? You feel what I'm saying? So it's almost like the word nigga. It's the energy we put on it because no matter how much we try to say, oh, we changed it, and no, you didn't change it. The truth remains that sound, that Naga or Niger or Nigas, that exists all throughout the you know what I mean, the universe. As royal, you feel me?
Nah, I got it right there on my arm, nigga.
You feel me? But when we get here, you know, we go crazy. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of cold because you know literature changes, and supposedly back in the day, it was only Chi-Town that had literature. Crip and Blood didn't have literature. You know what I'm saying? They was just banging off of how they knew how to bang and what they operated.
That's like I said. That's certain cities out of town. They've like mixed their culture in with them and they got literature, but we still don't got no literature out here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I say in chapter 1, I say,
you see what I'm saying? For some
I
clarification.
say that Nefu Kareem Bey is the one who made the Constitution, but I say I heard legends about him in prison, but could never confirm if he or the Constitution were real. So I didn't even know if the Constitution for the Crips was a real thing. So the one that they got out of town, they kind of like they got that and put that together themselves. You feel what I'm saying? For their environment, for their survival and how they function.
Right. You know, it's been a split.
Just put it like this. Just hear me out on this. You're right. You're not wrong because you're forced to see it our way. So we're looking at it how we see survival. But if a dude's out of town and this is come amongst them and his boys are with this and they use this to not tell on each other, stay solid, make the few dollars they can, not get, ran through in them jails, then so be it. You feel what I'm saying? Then they get to meet a nigga like me, come out to Cali and get a couple pounds of smoke and make a couple dollars. We just niggas trying to, you know what I mean? And when I saw it that innocent, I said, okay, we kind of jealous that we had to go through all the drive-bys and don't be a menace. And we said, nigga, you ain't see. But at the same time, this is where you get your 6ix9ines and all that. So I almost feel like that's a whole nother conversation. We probably got to come back for that one. Like,
right.
Is the gang culture for sale? Is it for sale?
Right.
I almost want to bring a few other people on the panel that say, nah, nigga, I got told on by out of town, nigga. I ain't rocking with you, because there's other sides.
Shit. If you see it right now, they got over there in Japan, they doing Crip walking contests and shit. And over there, yeah, exactly, bro. Like, I guess, like I said, like I originally stated at the beginning, it is a form of idolization that you really can't get away from. I heard out there in Japan, they got whole car lots selling lowriders. Like we got car lots out here selling Nissans, so it's what do you say? That's what
it's all part of that divine culture it's all part of that Yamasee, Gullah Geechee, you feel what I'm saying? It's like the apocrypha of the streets, you feel what I'm saying? It's like it's a lot of sacred information and holy divine signs and symbols within this culture that gets drowned. I'm not even gonna say it gets overlooked. It gets drowned by us with all the violence, all the self-hatred, all the perversion, all the, I'm not gonna sit here and glamorize the Bloods because I saw some pyramids and some black fists. I'm saying the further we go into the blood gang identity part of it, we lose the blood of my blood. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I'm not scared to say it, even though I talk about how they shot my brother in here. I talk about what they did to me. I'm showing that's not going to get me nowhere. There's a yin and yang to it all. And what I found in the yang took me to the Moorish science, took me to the Washita science, took me to the Gullah Geechee science. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, because when you really look at it, if we're going to bring a historical perspective to it, it's actually like a full circle. If you go down to the beginning of ancient Hindu in India and the ancient China and the ancient samurai, it's all black origin. And there was a long time period for many dynasties and centuries. There was an idolization of that black. And then it got depressed once Western civilization went around the world. And now we're back into the same spot of this admiration and glorification towards black. And that's what you see. You can't turn on the TV without seeing a black millionaire, billionaire in front of your face, and that's everybody from Shaquille O'Neal to 50 Cent, who definitely holds the New York line, and Shaquille O'Neal definitely OG MC. We don't ever talk about Shaq being an MC and how many West Coast niggas he done fucked with and East Coast niggas, in the rap game overall. But, we still see the Dr. Dre. We still see the Snoop Dogg. We still see, when you turn on your television, Snoop Dogg was over here cooking with Martha Stewart. The admiration is rebirthing in a whole new layers. You dig what I'm saying? Even the situation that happened with Tookie. That was very large.
Oh, yeah.
It was on national news everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So these, I guess it's something in the ether that won't stop. It's in the atmosphere, and the black gods are back.
Well, I'll go this far. It's almost how I'm breaking down the science of in the blood culture. I'm hearing about the 5 in the pyramid and then I see it later in Chicago and all that. It goes to show that a lot of this stuff got criminalized. You feel what I'm saying? It got criminalized later on, but it came from the heart. It came from, you know what I mean, within. You know what I mean? And with that, it has a visceral appeal to us. We can't help but to have an appeal to a draw to it when we see it. You get what I'm saying? Because of where it comes from.
Yeah, that's where it comes from, man. So yeah, we probably finna shut it down right here, right now. You know, y'all give it up for the Crip Jesus came and sat down with the guy 720. We're gonna be doing this more often. Y'all go to the blackmansbible.com to get a copy. You understand? And go where Crip Jesus. Come on, let them know. The local
CripJesus.com. You can go to CripJesus.com. You feel what I'm saying? You check out the whole page. I got the contact area. You want to get me direct, or when you first go on there, it says get your blue Bible. You click the gold and blue one. You can get your physical. You click the white black one. You get your ebook version. You can download that for $13. Physical for $33. Tap in with the guy.
Yeah. Hopefully,
CripJesus.com.
Yeah, hopefully you'll hear us on some music. Maybe we might combine on some literature in the future.
We already know. I'm waiting for you.
Right. You never know what might crack. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, we'll probably do another video here. We'll definitely let you know ahead of time if that happens in the future. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, we give it up for everything out there in LA.
Man. I appreciate it, for real.
Right. We give it up for all the niggas across the country, across the globe that's in their struggle and trying to survive and staying out of this social engineering bullshit. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, let me play some songs to close us out, my nigga. And we gon' let me play some monstrous shit, nigga. Yeah, here we go. All right then. Peace. Oh, and go to the woman Alchemy, nigga. Get the Alchemy. Y'all niggas need to learn about this goddamn pussy.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So yeah, that's it, nigga. We finna play it.
There's rules on the street of blood pools for your feet. Gotta protect your jewelry, the rules are nothing new to me. Better keep the toolery for a nigga's foolery. It's cool to see niggas on the come up nowadays. Niggas run up cause they seen my face on the internet. I've been a vet in this game. Every year a different gear as I'm switching my lanes. Better look out for the native with immaculate aim. You watch, then I create my nigga, we not the same. So looky here and be game. Please refrain from acting like we homies. This is a mirror to Scarface. Yes, this solo Tony. Unless it's dollars, I will not be conversation holding. As I'm not the one for loading. Sign some signatures and keep on rolling. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet, nigga. They say where'd he go? That Red Bull got rings. I got some homies coming to town, so I pull me some strings. Got a hose with the shine on my rims and on my rings. 15s in the trunk, make the hummingbird sing for the illustrious king. Fly my hoes in and out, I don't fuck with no fling. Barely show my face cause niggas already know what I bring. Best way to be the case is to make them all dream. With an extra magazine, they act like I'm the police. They scatter like fiends. Sometimes you not invited cause your shit be too clean. Subconsciously, everybody gonna wanna compete. This from the closest homie you know to strangers on the street. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet. I said there's rules on the street or blood pools for your feet, nigga.
Yeah, this is that street track right here. This is what the great matter. You understand? This is what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah, you know how we do. This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
Hey, when the homie get out?
Nigga, pass the blunt. This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
Hey, what it's hitting for, nigga?
You already know what it is. This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty. There them niggas go right there, nigga. This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty. It's only them game losers that's gossiping them lame rumors. It'll get your brain tumors. Remove with my gray Ruger. I nickname her Baby Boomer, my frequency tuner. Walkie-talkie, the platoon, the maneuver with some baddie cougars. I'm the Jaguar priest, Louboutin, Sasquatch feet. We smash on beef, big body dunk when we pass your street. And please don't be the last to speak. You want smoke, we make it funky just like some rotten meat. They got to tweet about what they see. Ball bearers, 1990 OGs that didn't switch up and didn't give no fit up. Still sipping on that hiccup until I get some bitter. I gotta get it out the mud, a nigga cannot get stuck. We thuggin' for a come up, just like Ruthless. But the truth is, we don't fuck with no stupid and no dope. Find a baddie that wanna elope and keep her pretty ass broke. Welcome to Saga City, a clique of imams and popes. This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
Shit, nigga just posted.
Well, nigga, let's make a move, nigga. This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
Hey, watch for that car right there.
Yeah, them niggas about to make a U-turn. This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
I'ma air them out if they come back around here.
Man, I'm just trying to get some for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty. Yeah, stay on top.
I pity the fool who think he rules the few, or assumes they accrue with my crew pursues. An old school nigga tucking these new tools, so it's the same old shit fucking with these new fools. This is for the cities, yeah right. I was out with that bitch on every night. I can see it in the stare, niggas got the same flair like a dragon, sagging, walking alright a passage, yeah, for the city, specifically the west side, gave me my pride, now I walk with my chest wide, from the seats to the biddy, it's an exercise, don't wanna scrimmage with them niggas that'll test the tribe, fed the set bloodshed, God bless who died, only the best ride, now we let the tester slide. The spoils of war, a nigga blessed with mine. For those loyal before, the rest testify.
This is for the city.
Y'all niggas get y'all money out here, man. Ain't nothing else to do. Get your paper up.
This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
Niggas better watch out, this ain't no motherfucking game.
Nigga, I got mines on me.
This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
Niggas always set tripping.
This is for the city. Knuckles, ashy, and gritty.
Nigga, I'm just trying to chill, man. Where the hoes at, nigga? Y'all niggas always on this dumb ass shit. Yeah, so y'all go to the blackmansbible.com, get the Black Man's Bible. Y'all go to cripjesus.com and pick up the blue Bible. You understand? So yeah, y'all gonna be seeing us here again, man. Appreciate y'all chilling with us, man. We out this bitch. Peace.